Thank you for tuning in to Uncommon Women, a podcast that provides a platform for women of all walks of life to share their upbringings, life lessons learned, experiences, and journeys to come. Uncommon Women speaks on topics that can relate to all women. We share, we listen, we laugh, we cry, and we empower each other to be the best uncommon woman that they can be. Ultimately, we are cultivating a global movement of women supporting women. Women supporting entrepreneurship, relationships, self-love, and so much more. We inspire each other to make an impact on this world for the better. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Uncommon Women. Now, finally, grab a seat, get comfortable, and hear from your wonderful hosts, Shanira and Jenny Lee. Hi, kings and queens. Thank you for tuning in to Uncommon Women. I'm Shanira.
And I'm Jenny Lee.
And today we have an amazing guest speaker by the name of Kellina. She's going to come on today and, just take us into her journey in regards to becoming deaf at a young age. She's actually a graduate with a psychology degree. And she's now actually started her online coaching business for the love of helping people with personal growth and educating others in regards to the deaf community. So thank you so much for Kellina for coming on to Uncommon Women. Before we get into your testimony, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
First thing, thank you, Uncommon Women, for having me today. I'm super excited to be here. And I'm going to make it shortly. So I'm a strategy speaker. I'm an author, upcoming author.
Okay.
And yes, I'm a mental health coach. So let's break it down, So, yeah.
Congratulations in regards to being an upcoming speaker. I know that's definitely going to be a great accomplishment once you're finished.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
So let's get into your typical day. How is it? Well, let's get into your testimony. So do you remember way back at the age of 4 of the conversation you had with your parents, or how did everything go when they told you that, you had this disability going on?
So I remember it like it was yesterday. So at the age of 4, I had an ear infection. My family doctor prescribed me an ear drop. So with the ear drop, I brought it to the daycare. My mom told them what to do, when to put it in my ear. Unfortunately, they didn't follow the instructions. That same day, I went home and I became deaf. And yes, it's really weird. People said so basically my ear drop in prescription is very strong apparently. And they didn't follow the instruction at all. Like I think they put it in the wrong timing. They put too much in both ears. And so that's it's so like it's crazy. And I went home and I was in front of the TV, it was super loud. I didn't know it was loud. My mom literally tapped me on my shoulder. When I tell you guys I jump, I literally jump. And my mom said, "Whoa, I called you." And then I looked at my mom like, "I can't hear you. Like, what are you talking about?" And then my mom said something else, and I couldn't hear that word. I don't know what she said. And then she like, "Hello." And then she called my grandma, because my grandma was the nurse at the time. And so my grandma tried to talk to me on the phone. I know my grandma's voice very, very, very well. And I couldn't hear my grandma on the phone either. And my grandma rushed home from the hospital panicking, like, what's going on? And so my grandma did some texting from the hospital. And then I looked at my grandma confused. I'm like, what are you doing? And then my grandma just like, I'm trying to get, like, she said something, but I could read her lips, what she was saying. And then, but I didn't realize that I was actually deaf. And then, so my grandma called my family doctor, panicking, saying, we need to come tomorrow ASAP. So we went there, my family doctor, and they said, it's too late. There's nothing we can do but clean it.
Wow.
Wow.
What emotions was your mom going through at the time of, trying to prescribe some medication for an ear infection and then turning into a traumatic situation in regards to becoming deaf?
I think it was like, I think I was just so confused. Like, I was just like, what is happening? And I was seeing so many different people. That what makes me so more confused because I was seeing different professionals. Like I was seeing a speech therapist, I was seeing an audiologist, and I went to a next audiologist. And then I went back to the hospital, and then I had to go to my family doctor all over again. And then from me receiving the hearing aid, I looked so like I was so confused. I was very emotional because I couldn't hear for 3 days. I had the 4 years old, like I can't hear. And my family would do things to cheer me up, like for example, bringing me to Morton's. So it's like another coffee shop in Canada.
Right.
Like a donut, so they'll bring me donuts to cheer me up. So
So what? So was anything was with the daycare? Was anything done to the daycare? Did you find out who was the exact person that didn't follow the instructions for the medicine? Was any action brought onto the daycare? Because I mean, if a child is having medicine, they have to go by the instructions, obviously, and that was the cause of them on how you losing your hearing because they didn't follow instructions.
my family, I don't even know if they screwed the daycare because it's to this day it's very emotional to talk about it. And my grandma
Mhm,
passed away 3 years ago.
Mhm.
So she would
mhm,
have a lot. My mom was a young mom, so she
okay.
had on her plate, like going and finishing college and getting her placement done. So my mom was really like my grandma didn't want my mom to like be like she wanted my mom to finish school.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, I don't know about the schooling part. Like I never really asked them, but I even when I talk to them about it, they don't want to talk. Like they would think
Hmm.
it's no.
Yeah. It's I think it's they don't I think it's hurtful, they what happened to you, and you just never know what they have themselves, like, have some trauma behind that too, because you're like, maybe there's blame there. You never know.
Right.
So that could be something that's the reason why they don't want to talk about it. But like I said, we will never know. But it's been hard on them and it's hard on you, but you have overcome so much. That's a good thing. That's a good
Yeah.
That's definitely a good thing that you have overcame. It's possible, with your parents, they feel like they are to blame because they did pick the daycare, and being a parent, you're responsible for the care of your child,
Mhm.
and they may take it harder on themselves than you are because you're doing phenomenal. You went to school, you still got your degree,
Mhm.
you're
Mhm.
getting a job soon in psychology, and you have one-on-one coaching, and you're empowering others and letting them know how your life is, even though you've had this traumatic situation at a young child, you're still able to overcome those circumstances and move on in your life. So let's go into your world. Can you typically tell us how your day is day to day? You are, from Canada, so thanks for coming on to Uncommon Women as we are in the U.S. But can you share a little bit about your typical day?
Sure. My typical day is very busy. I do have a job that is overnight. I'm a warehouse worker. So I work overnight, and I am in school. So I am doing a certificate program in mental health and addiction. So I have overnight job at like 3:30 a.m., 3:30 a.m. until 7 a.m. And then I have class at 12 p.m. until 7 p.m.
Wow.
And between the break, I would do a podcast. I would check up my emails with my managers, make sure everything is done. Oh God. And then when I'm done all my school, which at 7, I have my dinner. And while I'm doing my dinner, I do all my meetings with my manager, trying to make sure everything's in place, like in terms of my booking with podcast and clients, if I have clients to see and talk to, put them on my schedule. I just literally tell my boss, my overnight, just to say, hey, I can't come in this day, book me off. I'm not coming. So my overnight job is really flexible, thank goodness. So I'm able to still do things that I'm doing right now, and because now I'm doing a book. So now having to focus on my book, so I make sure that I have yeah. I'm sorry, my schedule is all over the place. You feel like how do
You
you
still
like
on time.
yeah, just like how you sleep? Like it's just crazy. And I said honestly, if you think about your why every day consistent and why you're doing it, you're always gonna be more motivated every day to get things done.
I
Okay.
agree. Are we cutting into your sleep now? Do you have to work tonight?
No, you're not. I'm off.
Just making sure. So, do people typically underestimate your capability of completing certain tasks or achieving things?
Oh yeah, all the time. You know, like I know, I remember I was working at a grocery store. I actually quit that job
Mhm.
because of COVID, the mask situation. You know, being a deaf person is really hard on COVID because of the mask. So a lot of deaf people rely heavily on lips to have communication.
Mhm.
And one of my bosses literally like shout my name across the store. And you know I'm deaf. So why would you call my name across the
Oh my
store?
goodness.
Right.
Instead of coming to me and oh my god, it was just ridiculous. And she was so disrespectful when I tell you guys disrespectful. Like the thing is if you know someone, your employees or your workers is deaf, why don't you talk to other workers and say, hey, like by the way, like clean up stuff. We need
Right.
to push her correctly. No. A lot of the staff members had to find them themselves. And they were asking me like, "Hey, like I can't do conscious prayer," like, and I'm just like, "I'm deaf. I can't hear you." And they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Like, I'm like,
Mhm.
"Did your boss never told you guys?" Like, and it was just kind of weird because it's like, how are you having a disabled person, disability person at work, and you can't do anything? But anyway, I ended up quitting that job because the boss was not acceptable. She knew what she was doing. Like the fact that she didn't even have the courage to come and talk to me about it, like, hey, like I noticed that you cannot interact well with customers or like I'm just curious to know, like how can we make this workplace environment better for you? She did not bother doing that. So I ended up quitting
Oh.
and she didn't even give me the space of doing the job. And so
Wow.
that was my first story. And my second story was actually high school. High
Okay.
school, I think we all hate high school.
Yeah.
We all hate
We all
we all hate
experience high
high school.
school. Yes.
Yeah.
I hate high school. Oh my god. My guidance counselor, she thought I was not capable of going to post-secondary. She literally did not know my grade was not it for post-secondary. I
Okay.
had a letter from all the university I applied to saying, "Oh, your grades are not in." What are you talking about? My grades not in? So I called my guardian. I actually went to the school the next day. I didn't call. I didn't bother. I was like, I'm gonna show up. I'm like, where's my grades? So I showed up and I'm like, where's my grades? And she's like, oh, your grade? What are you talking about? Like, she didn't even look surprised. That's what the funny part. And I said, I have two last names. You forgot? Like, and she's like, oh yeah, I forgot you have two last names. I've been in this high school for 4 years and you forgot I have two last names. And she didn't even put the grade in. Yeah, she did not put my grade in at all. So I couldn't even get into Oakland Day the right time. I would hold back for next semester.
Oh wow. For somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she thought I was not able to attend to Oakland Day.
She
Because
made
of your
assumptions. She made assumptions.
yeah. She made assumptions and then about your disability as well. That's just so wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Was there ever a moment in your life that is remember over a moment in your life how things turned out that when you felt that if you were still able to hear?
A lot. Yeah. A lot. Like sometimes I do have like doubts on myself sometimes, but it's not like a feel sorry for myself type of thing. It's kind of like damn, like why do I have to be so hard? That's really what
Mhm.
Can you walk us through any challenges that you may face?
the challenge I may face, honestly, is more of interaction with people, and you know how some people are willing to accommodate you, but they kind of get tired of accommodating you, like, oh my god, I have to consistently, so you
Mhm.
don't bother talking to other people. So that's why people realize a lot of deaf people are not out there as often because they feel like we're giving you guys an extra package. That's what it is
Mm.
to help us. And so that is something that I do have to like accept. And I have to keep in mind that not everybody's the same. A lot of people need to keep open minded that not everybody's the same.
So to reiterate, you feel like sometimes you may be on a burden on someone else helping you.
Yeah, 100%.
That's sad because I feel like there is a lot of good people in the world, but I feel like some people are just very selfish within their self. I don't
Mhm.
believe it has anything to do with your disability. I think people are just sometimes all about their self, no matter what the case may be.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
I agree. As someone that has worked with people that has disabilities, I've seen it a lot often where they face a lot of challenges, and I am one to quick like that's unacceptable because at the end of the day, that could be you yourself, your child, your mother, your father. They can have disabilities, and obviously, it's gonna make it a little bit harder because of the disability. So you have to make accommodations, whether we want it or not. People are going to be different, and a lot of people don't see that because they don't want different. Well, there's different. It's just how we humans are. Not everyone is the same, as well as your disability. We have to make those special accommodations. And like Shanera said, it's more about themselves, and I can totally agree with that.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, and I feel like, people don't realize that you didn't ask. You didn't ask
Mhm.
for it. It's out
Nope.
of your it's out of your control. It's out of your capability. And you shouldn't be judged on based off of something that is out of your control. So um screw them. You don't need them. People
Yep.
are fine.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
I'll
Screw.
bring people in your life that you'll need to be able to prosper and,
Mhm.
get you where you need to be. And if I was in
Yeah.
Canada, I helped you out, girl. I'll help you
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I would have been like, that's unacceptable. Believe me, I'm a big advocate when it comes to people being, treating others differently because of their disability. And I've seen it too often, and I've seen it, and I have a loud mouth. I'm sorry, but no one in this world perfect, and you shouldn't treat other people. You want to be treated the way you want to be treated. Am I saying? I think I'm saying that right, but you know what I
out.
mean.
People the way you want to be treated. Yeah.
Yeah, there
I know
you
what
go.
you meant.
Coming out right.
What
So,
is Oh, go ahead, Jenny.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
So what is the best way to communicate with someone that's deaf? Do you guys typically speak sign language? I know that you have hearing aids and or do you typically read lips? Is it easier for you to read lips, especially if someone like talks fast? How do you guys communicate?
Um, so I used to do sign language, but not when I was in the deaf school. But unfortunately, no one in my family do it.
Okay.
So my family kind of wanted me to stop doing sign language, just a personal opinion. They just wanted me to be independent when I get older instead of relying on sign language because they know that by the time I get older, sign language won't be available that much.
Okay.
And second, I do rely heavily on lip reading. So I do lip read a lot, 24/7, and I do rely a lot on closed captions. Um, and if someone talking fast, that's a very good question because I am Jamaican and half Jamaican, so I
They talk
cannot
fast.
I cannot like even like my Jamaican family, my side, they will like literally talk English. They cannot speak Jamaican to me. Like you cannot. Like I won't understand what you're saying. I might hear like one or two words in a sentence and that's it. And I'm like, sorry, I speak English. So yeah. So and especially if someone have an accent, I always tell people to talk really slow for me. Yeah.
Okay. So, with your disability, what is the best thing about being deaf?
The best thing about being deaf is turn off my hearing aid.
I like that one.
Really, like if I remember one time. I think I was younger. I think high school. My mom would yell at me to turn it off. I'm like, oh, I just yelled at you. Oh God, but she didn't know. I think a few hours later, she came to my room. She's like, "Did you turn off your hearing aid now, John?" In my head, I'm like, yeah.
That is so funny. She got hip to it then. If she knew she got hip to it, she must come in there yelling all the time. You're like, I ain't got time for this.
I'm be like, oops, sorry, my hearing battery dying. I always make up something. That's the one bad thing about being down. So
That's pretty cool. So do you typically like listening to music? What type of music do you like listening to?
repeat that again.
Do you typically like listening to music? And if so, what type of music do you like listening to?
Oh, I love listening to music. I'm from the island. Come on now.
Do you like reggae? I'm guessing reggae.
I love Spanish music, of course. But mainly I would say reggae is the number one for me.
Cool. Do you wish others would understand about your experience? You know, what you went through?
Oh yeah, I would love people to understand better in terms of letting them know that you, like you mentioned, Jenny, and earlier, you just never know who's gonna have disabilities in your family, gonna impact you. So I always like encourage people like you just never know. You're literally like 1% step away from being disabled. And I tell people, you gotta be careful. Because nowadays all these car accidents, plane crash, it happens like this. You just don't know. So that's why I feel people know that like, hey, like be careful how you treat people.
Yep, it's true.
That's true. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, it's true.
You never know. And if it doesn't happen with you, it may skip generations.
Yep.
You know? I definitely agree. Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I do. A younger sister who are 15.
Oh, okay. So what is your relationship like with your sibling?
My sister, oh gosh. So
I was, getting on your nerves.
We're pretty close. I bring my sister everywhere with me. Just because of communication barriers. I feel bad sometimes because like it's a lot of pressure on my sister, but my sister is kind of used to it because I always had her with me, like since she was a baby. So she's kind of used to it. I even spoke to the other day about it. I'm like, hey, do you feel annoyed when you have to come with me everywhere? You're like, no. She said, I'm bored. Take me outside.
She enjoys it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if you could name one person that inspires you or who your inspiration is within your community or your life, who would it be and why?
I'd be my grandma. Just because I give her so much respect and so much power because she came to Canada when she was 17 without family, without anybody. She came by herself. She came from St. Lucia, and she really took over a lot for my mom. She did raise me, and she was the one that taught me how to build my confidence, being deaf, and she would literally go into school like Mandia, and she would do anything to protect me. And she's very like she doesn't lie. Like I don't know how she does it. Like I think, Grandma, how you be like this? And she always give me some realistic advice. Like she would never sugarcoat. Even when I talk about my being deaf, she would never like. You know how some people would sugarcoat you sometimes because they feel bad. Like not that person. Like she would tell you straight up, and I'm like,
she kept it real.
Yeah.
Like and I remember she said something to me, and I think I was having a bad day. I think it was about the high school with my guidance counselor, and my grandma just laughed. And I'm like, why are you laughing? And she's like, because you have the power. When someone took advantage of you like that, it means you have the power. And you have to fight back because you already have the power. Because they doubt you, but because you can do it. If someone doubt you, it means you can do it. Just like the haters on social media. Same thing. So my grandma was someone that, I wish I can still talk to this day. Calls my phone every day. But yeah.
Shout out to Grams, man.
Yes.
I bet she's a good cook too, right?
Oh yeah. Every day, I'm so proud by her. Honestly, because of her.
So Kellina, with how society is in the dating world, how's your dating life? How is it trying to date men and knowing that you're deaf? Have you come around any men that's tried to do any sign language, or just, when you, or how do they feel when you explain to them that you are deaf? Because I know it's hard. It's already hard dating enough in the world with us single women as it is. So, so coming from somebody that, that is deaf, how is your dating life?
That's a really good question. A lot of people ask me this question.
Mhm.
Dating life is so difficult, and it's not easy. I tell a lot of people.
Mhm.
People always ask me how do I build a confidence, and I realized just one thing my dad said. Someone out there's gonna love you for who you are, even if you're deaf or not.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree.
I always take that back with me to this day. I always do. And so I think I went on a date. I don't know, probably I don't remember. Just one date I went on. This guy knew I was deaf. I don't know how he knew. I really don't know. I think because my he was like fit. I don't know. He asked me straight up, and he said, "How did you become deaf?" And I'm like, "How do you know I was deaf? I didn't even tell you." And then like, "Oh, because I can see from your ears." And then I was like, "Oh." So for me personally, I do not tell people when I'm deaf if I have to. So for
Mm.
example, if we go to a restaurant, a lot of people go on their first day to a restaurant. I hate going to restaurants. When I tell everybody, it's too loud. I can't hear you properly. I cannot.
Okay.
And usually what I do is I see if the person can handle the package. What I mean by that is I go 2 or 3 dates with the guy, and then I tell them openly, like, hey, like I'm deaf by the way. I'm like, oh really?
Mhm.
And but I guess now that I'm 24 years old, I'm getting a lot better of being confident saying, hey, like I'm deaf. But yeah, I can't hear you. And a lot of time I know a lot of people keep sending voice notes nowadays, and it's so annoying. So I have to tell them, I'm like, I am deaf. I can't. So a lot of time they do that. So I just have to like tell them right on the bat, like, hey, I'm deaf. No, don't be sending me voice notes. I'm like, oh my bad, I'm so sorry. No, I did in the past. Guys would told me like, I'm sorry, like you're such a beautiful girl, but I can't because they know it's a lot, right? And I don't let that affect me finding my future man. No. I always tell people, don't let that one guy affect you. I'm telling you guys, there's so many fishes in the ocean. There's 5 million people in the world that you can go out there. You can even I won't find a nice guy. Like what? So tell people, just don't be afraid. Like yes, one guy can shut you down, but it doesn't mean that. And for me, being a deaf person, it is hard, but it doesn't mean that there's someone out there that don't care that I'm deaf. And my ex-boyfriend actually was a very interesting relationship because he's Spanish and he's new to Canada. He speaks Spanish, a little English.
Oh man.
Um,
Our communication was so unique and crazy. Like people think, I can't communicate. I mean, I learned a couple of Spanish, he learned a couple of things how to and it was really cool. And I realized that if someone really loves you, they will find a way to communicate with you. And
yes, very true. Hmm.
and
I
they're
agree.
not, especially like 90 Day Fiance. Same
Oh
thing.
Oh
yes.
my goodness.
Yes.
It's just like 90 Day Fiance, and I tell people it's just like that episode. Literally, it's just like that.
Oh
You
my, wow.
Yeah, it's just yes, dating life is hard for me, but for me personally, if I have to tell someone I'm deaf, it really depends on the situation. That's one, two, depend on how many dates I'm going on with this guy. But a lot of people already can tell I'm deaf based on my Instagram. So a lot of them see it and they're like, okay, now she's deaf, I can't do it. I'm like, okay, bye. I don't care. Another man out there for me. Bye. You know?
No,
That's their loss.
it is. It is.
Because
Hmm.
you got beauty and brains, and just because of your situation, that shouldn't determine what you're capable of doing. So that's their loss.
Hmm. Sure is. Sure is.
And I'm sure you'll find your boo.
Well, the good Lord will send you a good man that is accepting, and he's gonna love you the way you are.
Exactly.
I agree. So can you share or give advice on one thing to everyone that's listening, if you had to give any advice?
Oh, okay. Advice. Here we go. My advice for everybody that's listening, especially if you're a woman, because this is a women's platform, I just wanted to say that don't be afraid to speak up. I know a lot of us feel, I wouldn't say guilt, but kind of like, oh my God, oh my God. No, I want everybody to know, like, your voice is very important. Always use your voice, no matter what the scenario it is. Even if in an awkward situation or if it's, speak up. And you just never know because it could happen to the next person. You just don't know. And that thing may not happen right away. Like if you report to the police about something, it didn't happen right. At least you told and did your part. And that way they have in the record for the future, And I would tell people too is that don't be afraid in terms of who the audience is. Who cares what the audience is? Who cares? At the end of the day, it's your life and your decision. You do have to live your life the way you want to do it. Doesn't matter what in the future, what who. If I can do it, you can do it. That's all.
I love you. You love that.
Queen boss.
She's definitely a boss.
Yeah.
I love it. Can you share a little bit about your business and your coaching that you do, your one-on-one coaching with?
Yeah, definitely. My one-on-one coaching is very unique, something special. I focus on positive psychology, not negative psychology. So what I mean by that, I focus on your goals for the future because I know it's a lot of time, yes, it's important to overcome your trauma, but at the same time, people don't realize that it's affecting you from moving forward sometimes when you too focus on your trauma. And so for me, I really focus on your now, your future. How can we build your goal? How can we improve yourself for the future? And I do also have couples because myself, who's a deaf person, I know what it's like to be dating someone that is deaf or has any other disability. It's challenging. I kind of wish that when I was growing up, I had someone to speak to that looks like myself and who can guide me through it. So I do that, and I do family as well. It's very important to learn how to communicate, and because my mom was growing up with very low resources for myself, so that is those are the key coaching I have, and that's what I do. And I do have a book coming out, so it's about me being deaf in the hearing community. It's called Every Day I Am Just Deaf.
You're so powerful. You're so small, but you got so much stuff going on. And
yes. I just love
it.
I just love your energy and how positive you are, and how you just keep going despite the challenges and just life period. And I just love it. I see you just, I could tell if you walk in the room, you just brighten it.
Thank you.
So, we have this other question. I have a question for you. It's a special question, and I love how anyone just says who says how they feel about themselves or what they think. What makes you uncommon?
I'm a person that I'm very outspoken. Makes me uncommon. A lot of times, I'm like, what? My facial expression is my number one. I would say I'm very uncomfortable. My facial expression, I guess, because it's really on the deaf community. We do rely heavily on face expression when we're talking to someone. So that just makes me uncommon a lot of time, and a lot of people so used to straight face where I'm not. Like you can tell from my facial expression.
Okay, I like
I
that.
see your facial expression might get you in trouble before you speak, huh?
Yeah.
It's okay, girl. I got you. Let's check and see if we have any comments from our viewers before we close up. Okay. No questions. Just some positive feedback. People saying hello. We have our other friend from Canada reaching out, Lovemore. That one I
I
was.
love more.
So hi, Lovemore, and then we have the amazing Marcus coming out, just showing us some love. So thank you, viewers, for always supporting Uncommon Women. Go ahead, Jenny.
Before we close, thank you, Kellina, and thank you for our followers and viewers. Hopefully, you can get understanding from where she's coming from, as being a deaf person, and hopefully, if you do run into someone that is deaf, that you'll understand where they're coming from and understand. Don't make them feel that they're an invalid person because they have a disability. Just understand that they're still just like me and you. They just have a disability, that they just face certain challenges, and just be kind to them. Not only that, be kind to one another. So anyways, everyone, make sure that you check out our apparel at www.uncommonwomen.net. Also, make sure that you go and check out our YouTube page. Make sure you like and share and subscribe at Uncommon Women Podcast, as well as I want to talk about our Instagram. As next month, I will be having someone coming on Instagram Live, speaking on autism. April 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you come join me. Instagram Live again, Uncommon 3 Women. And I am looking for someone for away awareness. Look at the awareness is lupus and mental health, and you can either DM me directly or email me at uncommon3women@gmail.com. And thank you, everyone, and for this evening, and stay uncommon.
Bye.
Bye.